ゆらゆらと歪んだ空へ君のもとへ飛んでゆけずっとそばにいたから空いた隙間大きすぎて生意気な君の素直な返事またねが寂しい見慣れない街で泣いてるならそばにいなくても笑顔は届けたいゆらゆらと歪んだ空へ君のもとへ飛んでゆけこんなにも近くに感じてる二つの想い
Hi, Professor. Is the Turbo Time Twizzler ready to go today? What will we learn about the Bible this time?
Yes, the TTT and is charged and twizzling. I have no idea where to go yet. Wait a minute. Why are you behaving so differently today?
Aw, what do you mean?
You're a lot less energetic today. How come?
Haha, so you realize, Professor, you're someone not smart after all. I recently thought about how different things inspire me to act in different ways. If I was writing my math test, I would be quiet just like how I was. If I'm playing with my friends or at church, I'm back to being excited and energetic. Which made me think, how will people behave when they are in the pressure of God? God seems so big and rule over us. Do people just become quiet like me during a math test when they are with God?
That is a very good question. And I think I know exactly when we can go to find the answer.
Let's go!
ゆらゆらと歪んだ空へ君のもとへ飛んでゆけ
Where are we? Hey, look at the large group of people approaching us. Are we at war? What are we gonna do, Professor?
Relax, Emily. We're in King David's time. And now David has become king over all Israel, and all the war has stopped. Let's just wait and see what's going on.
Alright, so what is happening now?
Well, we're going to see exactly what you were asking. What would a human being do in the presence of God?
Whoa. So are we going to see what God looks like today? I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Well, not exactly. Do you remember the Ark of the Covenant?
Yeah, I think so. The ark symbolizes that God is living among his people. But I remember it was lost in the battle, right? How come David has it now?
Wow, it's great that you remember. So God actually allowed David to bring the Ark back to Jerusalem. They're coming with it now. God's presence inspired David so much that he is filled with joy. Look.
Joy? I don't feel joy when I'm writing my math test. Guess God is different from math tests. Look at how he is dancing in front of everyone. Wow, he is so happy.
When David and his men finally arrived and took the ark to the temple, David praised God, gave offerings to God, blessed the people, and sang even more worship songs. We can read many of his songs in our Bibles in the book of Psalms. God's presence inspired David to worship.
There's King David right now. Let's go ask him a few more questions so I can know the answer to my question.
Hey, wait for me. Slow down.
Hi, King David. My name is Emily, and this is my companion Picklebatch.
Hey, wait a minute. Since when am I the companion now?
Nice to meet you, Emily. And hi, companion.
Actually, my name is Professor
Can you
Pickle.
tell us why God's presence made you so happy? I saw you dancing back there and you look so happy.
I guess I always want to spend time with God, no matter what circumstances. I can be happy, safe, and in danger. I know that God is always with me. I could rely on Him in all situations, so I feel so safe and grateful to be in God's presence.
Exactly. King David here, he wrote songs about God's presence in his life when he was sick, when his enemies were pursuing him, when he was afraid, and when he wanted to thank God for blessing him. God's presence inspired David to worship God.
Hey, how do you know so much about me? Guards, come over here and escort these two to my house. They are acting a little suspicious.
Oh, sister, what are you doing?
Well, I think I said too much. Let's make a run before we get thrown into jail.
Wow, Professor. I have never seen you run that fast.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have, let me just catch my breath.
Based on what David said, God's presence felt so peaceful and calming. Even though God is God, He is like our helper and best friend as well.
Yeah, during the time of King David, God sent his presence to stay with the ark. But today, when we trust in Jesus, we have God's presence all around us and inside us all the time through the Holy Spirit, and we can be inspired to worship God. He is worthy of our praise.
That's right. And it is safe to assume that just like King David, we can rely on God and experience His presence?
Exactly. God is always with us. His presence never leaves us. David was so moved by the presence of God's Spirit that he wasn't scared or worried about how he might look as he worshiped. He sang loudly and danced excitedly in front of everyone.
That is amazing. God's presence is completely opposite of the fear and worry I feel during a math test. Since God is with me all the time, I guess I also don't need to be scared during the math test. I'm going to be like David and praise God even during my math test.
Well, that's great to hear. Just be careful. Shouting and dancing during a test is probably against the school rules.